home of horror podcast, home of horror, the home of horror podcast. So that's your third Stephen King. And welcome back to the Home of Horror podcast. I'm your host John, and we have a very special guest today. This is our Mother's Day episode. A lot of people in the horror community have not met my wife Jess.
Hi.
Jess, say hi. Yeah. She's more behind the scenes of everything. So yeah, we wanted to get in the studio. It's Saturday, not quite Mother's Day, but that's okay. We wanted to get in here and do a special Mother's Day episode, and so that's going to be all about my wife. We have a 2-year-old son named Jackson, so she's on her second Mother's Day. She's also a horror fan, true crime fan as well. So we wanted to get in here and kind of learn a little bit about her and her favorite movies. So I think we're going to do top 5.
Yeah.
I think is what we said. Not top 10 because that'll take too much time, but we're going to do top 5 today. So that's going to be nice. When me and Jess started dating, I think that's kind of when you started getting into horror movies, right?
Yeah, I'd never really been into them before.
So yeah. But now that's been almost 10 years.
Yes, Die Hard now.
We've been married for what?
3?
3 years? Going on 3 years,
Yep.
I think. In November? Or September? Jackson was born in November, sorry. All right, so let's get going on it. Let's start from 5, and then we'll work our way down. So give us your 5th.
5th?
Yep.
5th is the hard one because top 5 is hard.
Right. Top 10's easier because then you could be like, oh, I love this movie, but I'll save it for my top 10 and then maybe I'll dwindle it down, right?
Right. So I would have to say I'm torn on 5.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So I would definitely be torn between The Craft and Rosemary's Baby.
And remember, folks, this is a top 5 favorite. This isn't
Of all time.
her top 5 of all time. Top 5 of all time is definitely a little bit different. So The Craft and Rosemary's Baby.
Yes.
So which one you going with, though? What are you going to do? I know you loved The Craft.
Yes,
and
I do love The Craft.
And you saw Rosemary's Baby actually not that long ago, I
Right.
feel like.
Yeah, it was the one that I hadn't
I think it was Matt who was like, you got to fucking
Yes.
see Rosemary's Baby.
for like a couple years, like as if you haven't seen it yet. I would probably have to say if I had to go by favorite, if you base it off like how often I would watch it, I would have to go with The Craft first.
Right. That's more of like a comfort.
Right, exactly.
Rather than Rosemary's Baby. But
Right.
if someone hadn't seen Rosemary's Baby.
Right, then I would definitely.
You might be
say
like,
that.
yo, we have to watch Rosemary's Baby.
Right.
Because The Craft is a horror movie. But I feel like it has some drama in there a little bit, right?
Definitely. And
I
it's like
guess
the whole good versus evil.
Right. I guess I wouldn't say it's like more of a drama than it is a horror, but
I would definitely say cult classic.
definitely.
Yeah.
Witchy movie.
Yes, which I love everything witchy.
You love the witchy movies. And what's her name's amazing in it. Is it Farouk? Is that her name?
I think I don't even know if I
Crazy
can
girl's
say
name,
it correctly.
She's
Terrifying,
awesome
honestly.
in it. Yeah, and then they did the new one. Remember we watched the new one? It was like the New Age Craft. It was The Craft.
Right.
I can't remember what it was called. But
Yeah, it kind of like.
she ends up being in it.
Right. Like I was honestly let down until they showed her.
Yeah.
Where it connected to the old one.
That's kind of how I was with like Candyman. Like I fucking love Candyman, but I wanted the original Candyman in it, but he wasn't in it till the end.
Right.
Tony Todd. So like that got me. It's like I'm torn because like I like the movie, but I really, and I guess I wasn't all that thrilled after, throughout the entire thing until the very end when he showed up and I was like, oh shit. So it's kind of like one of those movies, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. They probably didn't exactly do it justice, but
Right. Like they almost saved the new one in the end by
Right.
connecting it to the old one.
Right. And I don't even know if that one went to theaters, the new Craft.
I don't think it did either because it came out when COVID was big. I think you could only stream
Right.
it.
But she was like related to her, right? Or something like that.
She was her daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
That you find out she's been adopted, and that's why she has all these.
Right.
What would you say? Powers.
Yeah.
Gifts.
Powers, gifts, craft.
Craft.
She has a good craft. All right, so you're gonna say the craft for 5 then.
Yes, I will.
So honorable mention will be Rosemary's Baby then.
Right, because if we were doing of all time, then Rosemary's Baby would probably definitely be 5, if not higher, on my top 10.
Right. All right, let's go number 2.
You mean 4?
I mean, yeah, 4.
Okay, so 4, I would definitely have to say Scream. It is my
The
favorite
original.
slasher, original. First one, favorite slasher of all time, I would say.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And you had just you recently saw the new one. We watched the new one.
Right, and I think because I got into horror movies so late, that's why like I don't have like obviously I love Halloween, original Friday the 13th, all of those. But for me, I watched Scream and it was more like in our time, I guess I would say, compared
definitely.
to a classic.
90s.
Yeah.
See, I don't love the original Friday the 13th because it's just his mom. So, like, you don't really get Jason until, like, the very end when he, like, jumps out of the water. But, like, the hockey mask didn't come into play till, like, the third one.
Right.
So, like, I like 3 and 4 are, like, my favorites. But, like, I'm not, like, huge on the first Friday the 13th movies. Like, I think people in my top 10, like, would be like, you left Friday the 13th out? You know what I mean? But, like, I'm just, like, not sold on it that much, really. So, yeah, Scream.
Yes.
Fucking,
Yes.
I think that's
favorite.
in a lot of horror fans' top 5 probably, right?
And I also love like funny horror movies.
Oh,
So it
yeah,
has the
it's-
perfect.
Yeah, it's like
amount
it's
of
like
that.
makes fun of itself, right?
Right.
Which we love. It's fucking awesome. Skeet Ulrich, obviously Nev Campbell,
Yeah.
Courtney Cox,
Love Neve Campbell.
Ghostface as a whole is a great villain, even though it's like a bunch of different people. On our last episode when I had Skynet Video and Silent Horror Night on, I kind of asked them if they believed that Ghostface was on their Mount Rushmore of slashers, because the only reason I don't put him on is because he's literally like not one person.
Right.
He's like a bunch of different people, but at the same time, that's why the franchise can keep going, because it's someone different. So like Ghostface will like always live on.
Right.
All right. Do you like? I'm guessing you have no other Screams on your list, just the first.
I honestly really like number 4 too.
Yeah.
I do love number 4.
So do your Screams real quick. So it goes 1, then 4,
Yeah.
and then what?
Then I would go back to 2 and 3,
And then
the
the
newest.
new one?
Yeah.
I think I go first one, second one, fourth one, new one, and then 3. I don't really love 3 that
Yeah.
much. Kind of a weird
I guess
one.
I just put 3 before 5
because it's
yeah.
yeah older.
I just love her line in number 4 when you can't. What is it? You can't mess with the original.
Can't fuck with the original.
Yeah, I can't fuck with the original.
Yeah, it's always great. Yeah, very good. All right, so we got 2 down. Yeah, let's take a drink. I like your style. Cheers. Fucking cheers, Bob. Before we get to your third, you excited for Mother's Day?
Yeah, I love Mother's Day.
It is a new thing that you get to both Mother and Father's Day, a new holiday. So many things where you get older and then a new holiday comes in, you know? Like everything else is like you get too old and then presents drop, but then you
Right.
get Mother's and Father's Day.
Right. Get the cute presents from daycare. Jackson made me fun stuff.
He did. He made you a bag.
Yeah, I have a bag now.
He also made us, at daycare, he made us a May the 4th be with you.
Which is awesome.
With Grogu on there.
Yes, he loves Grogu.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to 3 then.
All right.
What do you got?
I would say Hereditary.
Man, that surprises me. I know you really liked that movie, but it surprises me that it's in your top 5.
It does. No,
Well,
it.
I mean, it is a witchy movie, which you do love.
I
So
do love that,
get
but I'm
that.
also a huge fan of a good slow burn and then an epic ending, which is
Yes.
exactly what that is for
Yeah,
me.
and it's a pretty heavy. I mean, Tony Collette's fucking awesome in
Yeah.
that movie, and the kid. I can't remember the kid's name. He's in a bunch of shit. But he
Um,
has that one scene. I remember you were the one who told me. I think that he like got fucked up from that scene.
yeah, he
where
actually
like,
had a lot of issues after filming that movie. It
when he
really
like
messed with him.
bashes his fucking. That's such a good scene, man. That scared the shit out
Well,
of
in
me.
the scene when the daughter's head gets taken off,
Yes,
like
yes, that's a
that,
good one.
all of that really messed with him. I love the way that shot because I think that's one of the
Yeah.
first times I've seen a movie shot that way in any genre.
And they do it from like the dollhouse too,
Right. Like you're in the dollhouse at first, and then all of a sudden you're actually in their house because the whole thing is that the mom makes all these.
Yeah,
little...
and you don't like. You don't really know what's going on through the whole thing.
No, you don't.
Like even with like the title, you're like Hereditary. What's like what are they? This is going to be some sort of family line of something, but like you
Right.
don't really understand like who's connected, who's not,
Mm.
and then it ends up being the kid at the end,
Right.
like the
right.
dude, like the guy, and you're like, what the fuck? Because it's like the girl's head on the thing, and then
Right.
I can't remember the demon's name
Because the daughter was chosen by the grandmother
but dies
to carry out. Yeah.
and then it needs a new body. It's like I don't know if it starts with a P or something, but they need a new body, and then she's in the treehouse,
Right.
and then the kid goes up, and it
Yeah.
ends up being the brother, right? Like that gets taken over,
Yes.
which is wild.
Well, because at first the mom, honestly, is you think it's going to be stuck on the mom.
Right,
And
and it gets her for a second.
right, like honestly, the scene with her right before the whole thing ends is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
In the attic.
With the
Oh yeah.
and then she just kind of like floats up, like it's the
Yeah.
most like
and she's
softest
like,
little float up to the treehouse.
and remember when she's like in the corner of the house? She's like literally in the ceiling,
Yeah,
but in the corner, and the kid's just like looking around. Yeah, dude, Tony Collette fucking killed
Yeah.
that role.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man. That's another one we gotta watch soon.
Mhm.
Again, I feel like I've only seen it like twice.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that is good
So good.
shit.
Because a lot of times you get the slow burn and you're just like, oh my God, it's going to be so good. Like it's leading to something. And then it leads to nothing. And that one,
Yeah.
it leads to like,
See, that was like Midsummer for me.
yeah.
Like I liked
Which I
Midsummer.
still like, yeah.
it's good. Like it is that slow burn, but it just felt like, to me, it felt like a shittier Wicker Man. Like
Right.
it was the same type of thing. I don't know.
Well, the end of it was like very dramatic, if anything.
Yeah.
And it
And I get it had a lot of hidden. It's a very
Right.
artsy movie, I guess. So is Hereditary a little bit, but it's a little bit more of like an art house or an elevated horror movie.
right,
But
yeah.
but still,
Like it had its little moments, but it
Right.
wasn't.
like when they jump off the cliff in
Yeah.
Midsummer. That
Yeah.
got me. I was like, all right, here we go. Now we got something. But then it's just like a more slow burn. Like it doesn't pick up the whole time.
Right.
Like it's not like a steady incline. It's like up and down, up and down, up and down. But yeah, Hereditary, I guess, is a good pick for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's a good movie. All right, so what are we on? 2?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're fucking flying through this shit.
Evil Dead the remake.
Yes. So I just that was my last
Yeah.
episode,
Yep.
which I was up very late for, which fucked me up.
Which Jen and I were downstairs watching it
Yeah.
during it because we were
Great
just like,
movie.
oh, okay, well, might as well.
So this was interesting. Skynet Video, Taylor, who I was talking to, he made a point on the last podcast that he brought his DVD because we were supposed to do it a week or two before, and he went to a horror convention in Nashville. So he brought his DVD player, like one of the shitty ones we have in our bedroom, and he brought that to the hotel to watch Evil Dead before, because we were going to do the episode that night. So he was going to do it from the hotel room. And he said the hookups, like his DVD player was so fucking old that like he didn't have the hookups. So there was 2 hookups, and then one of them didn't fit, so it played in black and white, which sounds kind of fucking awesome. I was like, oh my God, imagine like the raining blood scene where it's just like black and white. Like that's kind of a cool idea where like new age movies in black and white might be fucking awesome because of the effects and because of so much blood and how they do things now, that it might look kind of cool. But yeah, great fucking movie.
And I completely love the original as
Yeah,
well.
the original's great. But Mia is such a good character.
Yeah.
And we were pointing out, we had talked about the intro to that movie. Like, when did it take place? You
Right.
know, when the first
Yeah.
girl gets captured, and
Mhm.
it's like before they get there. Because I know you guys thought that maybe it was like like way earlier. I think you guys had said, or did you say it was like sooner?
We said it was later then.
So
Are
it
you
was
talking
like
about Ash? Like if you were to
no,
put
no,
Ash into
no.
the timeline?
We did talk about like the universal timeline, which like I don't think they're in the same universe. Because we did talk about that, where like his car's there,
Right.
but it's kind of just a bunch of odes to that whole thing, right? The chainsaw and the book not burning. I think that was the thing we said. It was like the book not burning is why it's not in the same universe. Because when Ash burned the book, it technically worked in the first one. But no, that first scene, we were deciding if that happened in like way before, or if it happened right before Mia and her whole crew got there. You know, when the dad burns
Oh,
her.
okay. Took me a second. Too many White Claws.
But yeah, I mean, if you know, her mom owned the cabin, so it had to have been, you know,
Mia's
after
mom.
that. Or
Owned the cabin?
yeah, she owned the cabin. Remember? So it's like that must have happened while her, because it's broken into and shit.
Right,
So
right.
it must
So
have
maybe
happened.
ancestors or something.
Well, no, it must have happened like within the last year or two of them going there, because their mom owned the cabin. So like she would have, if it happened way earlier, she would have gone up there and been like, "Oh my god, some crazy shit happened. I don't want this cabin."
Right.
So she must have already owned the cabin, and then it happened.
Right.
So yeah, that was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That was 2.
That's a hardcore 2.
I love it though. It's like it goes from completely psychological to complete gore.
Right. All right, let's go number 1.
All right, number 1 for me would definitely be House of a Thousand Corpses.
Ooh, the Rob Zombie film.
I love it.
Yeah, it's so good. 2004, I think it came out. I remember watching it at our buddy Terrio's house when it first came out, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is fucking awesome!" Talk about another gore fest. So your first 2 are just fucking gore movies,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Yeah, I think if you tell a lot of people that, like regular people, that that's your favorite horror movie, they're gonna be a little freaked out, babe. But I love that movie as well. I love Devil Rejects too, but there's something about House of a Thousand Corpses that's just
it's
like
completely terrifying because it's honestly like completely possible. Like that's
Yeah.
something that people think happens.
right, like
that's
just this weird
you know,
family of like inbreds
Right,
that like
right.
yeah, especially like in Texas
Yeah,
and just like
something about Texas.
it's like it's hot and sweaty. There's always fucking bones everywhere and like weird fucking furniture. I don't know about that place, man.
And before I became like a big horror fan, I had already seen that movie and I already like loved it. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like I already knew that I loved horror movies. But then like you just took me to the next level with
Right.
watching absolutely everything.
Yeah, that's true. We got a lot of movies in here.
But
Yeah.
I love everything about that
Yeah, and it was
movie.
Rob Zombie's like
yeah,
first, you
yeah.
know. After that, he gets a little like Rejects is good, but he gets a little.
Yeah.
Then he does like
yeah.
31, and
31.
Lords of Salem was awesome, but
Yeah, if I was to go by Rob Zombie movies, I would definitely say House of a Thousand Corpses, Lords of Salem, Devil's Rejects, and then probably after that, it doesn't really matter to me.
Doesn't compute after that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite of his. I mean, Rejects is fucking awesome. I also like the first Halloween movie that he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good, but
Second
then the
one.
second one,
I do love
like, what's
his-
the one thing he does that's like too much for I think even his fans? He puts his wife in fucking everything.
Right, and I love Sherry Moon.
Gotta love baby.
Love her, but
Gotta
at the
love
same
baby.
time, oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Her character, especially if you compare it to the third one, 3 from Hell.
Right.
Her character in the first 2 are way better because I think they really overdid her in the end.
Yeah, me too. Like in 3 from Hell, it's first of all, that's like an action movie,
Yeah.
which is so weird. Which is fine because Devil Rejects kind of starts going that way a little bit. Because like Devil's Rejects is way different than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
way different. Even the characters are different.
Right.
Otis is like in
The second one, you feel bad for them.
yeah, and how well you root for them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like you don't necessarily feel bad, but you do root for them. You're like, oh, I love these fucking characters. I don't want them because like the sheriff's an asshole
Right.
and shit.
Right.
But like in House, like Otis is like a albino dude with white hair, and then in Rejects he's got a full beard and he's not albino anymore. Baby's pretty much the same,
Yeah.
but then in the third one you lose Sid Haig
Yeah.
because he had passed. You bring in Richard Brake, which he was a great character, but then I feel like Rob was like, we got to make Baby like
Crazier.
right.
Which she was
even
already so
crazier.
crazy.
She was already so crazy. Like, why do you have to like keep pushing it? You know. So I totally agree on that. Yeah, I loved Lords of Salem from Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween 2 was a mess, just an absolute mess. 31 we watched, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything special, I don't think. But yeah, that's a solid number one. House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't even hate on that. It's one of my favorite movies as well.
Like if I was to break down in some town and these people picked me up and that happened, that would probably be my complete nightmare.
Yeah, it's like
that's
Texas
like,
Chainsaw
yeah.
Massacre vibes, right? It's like you break down a bunch of people in a van or
Right.
whatever in a car and you're fucked.
These crazy people.
And what's his name's in it?
Dwight. Love Dwight. Rainn Wilson.
Love Dwight.
Him.
He's great in that. Yeah, that's a solid 5, babe. Shit. Solid 5. I think people are going to respect that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you have any honorable mentions you want to mention that might be in your top 10 or like ones that you feel like...
Well, I would definitely say the entire Child's Play series. I love
All
Bride
of
of Chucky.
Yeah,
I love
that's
Tiffany.
kind of like Scream and like and Evil Dead,
Exactly.
right? They get crazy.
Yeah,
they get like
yeah.
out of control by the end, but it's like at that point it's humorous.
Right, and you have that humor, but I love Tiffany.
Yeah, she's a great fucking character, and the series was good.
Yes.
The first
yes.
Chucky
yeah, I'm
season
very
1 was
excited
great.
for the second
yeah,
season.
yeah, it was awesome. Don Mancini, like he does great, man.
Because with those things, you always get so scared, like, oh my god, are they gonna ruin it?
Right, especially when it's been like some time.
Right.
But all those movies are good. I agree. Even like Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, I thought all those were awesome. And no one else has ever played Chucky, which is fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Brad Dourif has done all it, and then obviously
Well,
his
his
daughter
daughter Fiona,
is
I love
great.
her.
When she plays younger him, oh my god, in the series, fucking really cool. Like I think she even does the voice, doesn't she, or does he do the voice and she just overlap? I don't even know. But she's got like the coat on and she slicks her hair back, you know what I mean? And then it's when he meets Tiffany.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely takes on his voice, but I definitely think it's her.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Any other honorable mentions?
I mean, I could go on forever with honorable mentions.
Give us one more. Come on.
Hatchet.
The people want. Ooh,
Hatchet.
Victor Crowley
Love
lives.
Victor Crowley.
Victor Crowley lives. It's true. Great series. Brought for me
Again, very gory, which
right. For me, it's like that's what brought me back to horror movies. Was seeing our buddy Dave Sanford showed me. You know, no good movies were coming out. I hadn't seen Hatchet when it first came out, but like I hadn't given up on horror movies, but I was down in the dumps about them because they were all like PG-13, like the Paranormal Activities, and which are okay movies, but everything was like
like you watch them to watch them, but you're not like ugh.
There was no like true horror movie that I was like fuck yeah. And then he showed me, he's like, have you seen Hatchet? I was like, I've never seen Hatchet. I was like, when the fuck did this come out? We watched Hatchet. I was like, holy fuck, man, this movie's fucking awesome. And then Victor Crowley is one of my favorite slashers. He's on my Mount Rushmore because he's like, our age slasher is probably Ghostface, right? Because we grew up in the 90s, But like, today's, like, if you were born in the 2000s, like, Victor Crowley is your slasher. He's your guy, and he should be, like, fucking put on a pedestal for that shit, because he's fucking amazing.
He definitely doesn't get enough recognition.
No, not even close.
And Adam Green is awesome.
Adam Green's fucking awesome. He did a great job, man. And that was a low-budget film, and then all of them are good. All of them are good. All 4 of them are great. I'd love to get another one. Any other movies you want to mention, or is anything you can think of? What about your shirt?
Oh yeah, Trick or Treat, favorite. Love Sam. He's my favorite monster. Probably. I'm obsessed with him.
One of the better Halloween movies for sure.
And then I would definitely, because I obviously have to give a Stephen King shout out. Carrie would probably have to be right there.
One of his first adaptations as far as films go. Yeah, great movie. And a good solid mother
Yes.
character, right?
And if you figure the horror movies that scare you relate to like your life, like if you can make it like, I feel like those are the things that really scare me. That's why I'm also so into true crime and stuff like that. I was raised very religious, so like her as a mother was like
creepy,
terrifying, like completely terrifying.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Sissy Spacek.
Always
Man, she
good.
was
Always
so
good
as Carrie, dude. Yeah, that movie was messed up.
Like that would be one that I would say that like I obviously appreciate the remake, but I would prefer to definitely watch the original over it.
Definitely. The remake was Chloe Grace Moretz, I think it was.
Yes. Which
but
I do love her.
Sissy Spacek though.
Yeah, Sissy, you can't beat Spacey.
Yeah, the one good thing about the newer one was I think it was Julianne Moore that played the mother. She did a pretty good job, but she wasn't like the old mom. Holy shit. Yeah, that movie's fucking awesome, dude. That's a good mother role too. I think that's a good way to end the Mother's Day podcast.
Yeah, I think she's definitely, for me anyway, definitely the scariest mom out of horror movies if you were to pick a mom role.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I don't know if there's
like
another...
I can't honestly think of...
I mean, I guess people would say Friday the 13th.
Right, yeah, that's
she's
true.
She's the ultimate mom, but at the same time, like, I don't even agree with that shit. So don't give me no hate. Yeah. Great episode, babe. Love it. Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
First time on the podcast.
Got nothing. Yeah, here I am.
Been doing it for like 2 years. You don't want to say anything else?
No,
Wow. You don't want to say hi to the people?
Hopefully I'll be back again.
Yeah, this was fun, I think. I think people are going to dig it. We want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Hope you guys have a great day Sunday. I don't know when this is going to come out. Maybe it's a day after. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's tonight. I don't know. But we want to say Happy Mother's Day. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you.
Thanks, babe.
Jess. And yeah, we'll definitely do this again. Obviously, the studio's in our house now, so we got plenty of fucking time to do it. Maybe we'll do one with Jackie Boy on with us. Put him right in your lap.
Yeah, he loves it.
But yeah, hope all the mothers have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Home of horror, the Home of Horror podcast. Home of horror, the Home of Horror podcast. So that's your third, Stephen?